Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Eliali in this incarnation. Today I wanted to talk about Mercury because it is approaching both the Neptune and the North Node in Pisces. So here it is developing a process of taking decisions, having conversations, revelations, and information that are important for our spiritual growth. And this is the only the beginning because Mercury is going to make these contacts both with Neptune and the North Node. In 3 times because Mercury is going to be retrograde between Aries and Pisces. So this is the first one. There are total 3 times. So we are still transiting the energy of the new moon in Pisces with this excess of charge of planets in here that is also amplified by the square with Jupiter in Gemini. It is this planet that expands everything, and if the expression of this energy it is chaos and confusion, well, that is expanded precisely for us to be aware of that and to return to our center to find a way to integrate all of those things, because Pisces, it is also this great inner listening and intuition. So the triple conjunction, it goes of a decision. It is linked with a decision that it implies evolution. Therefore, it is different. It means that we are letting go of an old form of answering in the face of circumstances that we need to let go of. So this is happening in the context of Venus almost retrograde. Therefore, there could be an experience of repetition, something of the past returning, perhaps in a different scenario. So we can generate that new way of responding in the face of that. Conjunctions of Mercury and Neptune specifically could signify this great connection with our intuition, information that is descending through dreams. The thing is the interpretation of them, because, well, there are symbols that can only be interpreted by the people by the person that is dreaming. But also there are symbols that I proved empirically that they operate collectively for everyone. Sorry. Anyways. The thing is that we are going to understand of life in general, the information that we are ready to receive, nor more nor less. And the most important thing is that the body and the emotions are already giving us the guidance of what we are sustaining from our thoughts and our perceptions. And there we have a great door to develop this communication, this clearer communication with the soul. But, well, this conjunction means that perhaps we don't have the whole information, perhaps we are not seeing with clarity, perhaps we want rational explanations that are not available right now. And many times they are not available with the presence of Neptune, because wanting the explanation and wanting to know what it is going to happen before, after the decision, it is coming from control, which is the contrary energy that Neptune proposes, because Neptune is about surrendering to life and flowing with what the experience is presenting. So this conjunction invites us to get deeper in ourselves and to trust more in our intuition. The shadow, it is precisely confusion and chaos, perhaps for not giving credit to that intuition. So the rational mind, it is interfering. We are over-analyzing, overthinking things. There could be also these illusions, seeing what the person wants to see through idealizations and expectations, and that eventually results in disillusionment. Or other shadow could be denying something that we are intuitively feeling because there is resistance, because unconsciously sustaining a self-deceit. It is a form of protection of something that is very, very painful. But actually it's the contrary, because extends the suffering or leads us to face what we have been denying in forms that life or cosmos or universe are going to choose. So everything that I am mentioning applies for communicating something. This could be a moment to have that conversation that it is dissolving a veil. Perhaps involves giving end, to something, because that is Pisces too. the thing is to not get comfortable in the lack of clarity and the chaotic situations to sustain an illusory sense of peace. Sometimes we have to decide or communicate things not with the intention of generating conflict, but understanding that those things could generate it. And to to enter in the circuit of evasion, it is not the best. I'm going to put an example in here. These stories happen in our planet. Let's suppose that a person has an adopted child and the child doesn't know, and that person knows that that information is going to change the story of the child. So it is important to communicate that. Um, Obviously, there are conflicts that are not worthy to feed them nor participate of them. And it is also important to learn to recognize that it is just that the tendency of Pisces, it is not to confront. In fact, Mercury in Pisces, it is looking for empathy and comprehension in the communication, but empathy and comprehension are flowing naturally when the parties are with an open heart, and that not always occurs, and nor is something that we can force. So there there could be this other polarity, like making overlooking important things in the experience, which is like denial. um well, collectively, I've seen a lot this great quantity of fake news and of polemic themes, topics that are involving the whole society precisely to produce manipulations, because they are activating these collective emotions, which is Pisces. And I also saw a great quantity of people believing in those news. So I take advantage of this moment to remember to investigate. When you are seeing a video of 1 minute in social media, and we can all make mistakes and believe certain information and rectificate later. I'm not saying that everyone is doing this with a negative intention behind, but it is important to investigate and not believe everything, because in internet we have a lot that is mixed up, real things with things that are not. And Jupiter in Gemini gives us a key, because we could find many sources that are confirming one information, but if the sources are contradicting themselves, which could happen also, then we have to investigate more to unify. It is not to give that information settled. And looking for mediums that are actually wanting to that actually want to inform, because the official ones are communicating things like cut off or in a distorted way. I am seeing this, for example, with I am investigating a lot these ancient civilizations, and right now a lot of discoverings of old cities with a higher technology that wasn't considered for those times of our human history are coming up, are emerging right now. And the news that are coming, it is like it could be that that these ancient societies had a higher technology than what we thought. And what I think is that science it has been reinforcing this will of not expanding this kind of information actually. So well, if you don't have time, or you are not willing to do this, it is probably because that information, it is not that important and it is not part of the sense of your path. So it is just not to expand that and not giving that information as real. This is something that I learned by making mistakes, or also in this channel, that I always commit with myself to correct them. We are not away of the mistake, but because we are always learn new things, but it is important to check things, to not contribute with the distortion, to not feed the distortion, the collective one. Okay, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you everyone, and see you in the next video. Ciao ciao.